Hey, Jason. Hey, Rob. Good to see you guys tonight. Giving it a couple of minutes to let folks show up and see who's going to join us. All right, guys. Well, happy belated Hexennacht and a happy belated May Day to everybody. Good to talk to you guys again. I guess one thing I'll start off plugging tonight, and I'll probably plug it a few times here, is Midsummer at Odenshoff. Got a little bit over a month away, June 21st to the 23rd in Brownsville, California, if you guys can make it out to Odenshoff. That's the AFA's biggest kind of flagship events of the year. Going to have a lot of people joining us from across the country, and we have at least one guy internationally that's going to be joining us. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. If there's any way you can make it, if you got friends around you, if transportation's an issue, carpool, get you guys together, grab a friend, and take them to Odenshoff for Midsummer. So if you guys can make that, we'd love to see you there. Also, another thing I figure I'll mention, we're coming up at the end of this month. If any of y'all are planning on traveling to Sweden at the end of this month, we'd love to see you at Ultima Thule. That's going to be fantastic. I know Anders has put a lot of work into making that a successful thing. I believe a lot of our European members, not just our Scandinavian members, are going to show up for that one. So if anybody can make it, we'd love to see you guys there. Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good tonight. We'll just jump right in. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about tonight, or anybody have anything they want to hear me talk about tonight? Oh, thank you. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate your opinion of my beard. Majestic is what I'm going for. Hopefully it stays that way. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Janet. Good to see you guys tonight. So does anybody have any questions or comments or things they'd like us to make sure we discuss tonight, and we can jump right in? And Corey, I'm sorry to hear about your beard situation. It's unfortunate. I figure I'll let you guys know. If any of you are fans of the Pressure Project with Master Chim, I did a interview with him the other day, actually yesterday. I think that went well. He was a very nice host, and I had a good time doing it. Hello, Kindred of the Sun. Good to see you on tonight. I also had an interview with Karen, one of our South African members. She does a radio show in South Africa, and I'm trying to pull up here the address if folks want to tune into her show. Matter of fact, I'll have Mandy remind me, and I'll put it in the comments section. But one of our very own members in South Africa has her own radio show there. I'm not sure if it's a terrestrial radio. I think it's internet radio. But I think they get a decent amount of listeners. It was really nice to talk to them. A lot of enthusiasm with our South African members. And from what I can tell, there's a lot of enthusiasm about the AFA right now in the South African pagan world in general. I think that's really nice to see. I'm very excited about that. So I'll get that for you, and you guys can check out her show. Give her a little bit of support. She records it on Wednesdays. Hey, Lane, good to see you. So does anybody have questions or anything they want to talk about tonight? It's kind of a user-driven content show, so if you guys have stuff that you want to talk about, let's make sure we do. If anything comes up, be sure to ask here in the chat. If anybody asks anything in the chat that I don't get to, I think this is the 4th month now, and we're still playing with it. Every now I go in after it every time, and I see comments spread throughout that didn't show up in my feed on the side. So if you ask something and I seem to ignore it, I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I'll go back through later tonight or tomorrow, and I'll look through the comments and try to answer anything I may have missed. Because I do appreciate y'all's questions, and I'm certainly not ducking them. So Well, oh, Joe, I'm glad you like the AFA store. If anybody does not know we have a store, if you go to www.runestone.org, we do have a store. We sell a lot of nice things. Sean Sandin is managing that, and he has been for years. He does a fantastic job of getting good items in the store, selling those, getting them out to you guys. While I have you guys, and Sean asked me to say this to you, so I'll go ahead and put it out there. This day and age, we've become very spoiled by Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime is fantastic. I love Amazon Prime. It's amazing. You can order something and it gets there in 2 days. Unfortunately, the AFA store is not Amazon Prime. It's a guy who is a dad and works a regular job and tries to do what he can with our store, and he does a very good job with it. But he's just a regular guy. He can't get you stuff in 2 days. He does the best he can. He diligently gets stuff. And if you guys have any questions, he'll take care of you. So please do bear with him and realize it's a volunteer operation. We don't have a massive AFA warehouse with AFA robots and AFA drones that can drop you off stuff. Maybe one day, but that day is not today. So thank you, Sean, for what you do. And guys, please stop by the store, see if there's anything you want. And if you have any suggestions of things you'd like to see on the store, if you send that to Sean S. Sandon, Saindon, at runestone.org, he'd be happy to hear what you guys have to say and give some thought to any of your suggestions that you guys might have. Also, Steve McNallen's book, Asatru, A Native European Spirituality, is currently out of print, but I'm assured that that's going to get fixed quickly. As soon as it does, we will restock the store with it and make sure we have plenty of access to that for years to come. I suppose it's kind of, it's unfortunate that we don't have access to it right now, but it's a nice thing that it is selling so well and so many people want it. I think that's fantastic. It's a great book, and it's great that the word on Folkish Asatru is getting out there to such a big audience. Any questions tonight, guys? Any questions? Anything on anybody's mind? Anything they want to make sure we discuss? I've asked it a couple of times. Oh, have I checked out Mark Puryear's new book? I have not, but I've noticed a lot of people have gotten that in the mail this week. As far as thoughts on it, hopefully I will read it here at some point and be able to generate some for you, but I know a lot of people are very excited about it, and I know that Mark's put a lot of work into it. Mark does a lot of research. He has spent a long time really going through the lore and studying it and putting a lot of hard work into the stuff that he does. So I'm sure it's a very interesting book, and I'd like to give it a shot and see what it's about. Words of encouragement for the folk. I always have words of encouragement for the folk. You guys are awesome. The AFA is awesome, and we're winning, and we're doing great. To let you guys know, just this last month, we were reaching the highest member numbers we've ever had for the AFA. We're growing. We just got a new kindred. I'll go ahead and announce the Grim Raven tribe. So the AFA's newest affiliated kindred, and that kindred's in Kentucky. Anyone interested about that, please go ahead and give them a shout if you're in the area and try to connect with them. That means that at present, we've got 25 loyal AFA kindreds, AFA proud across the country and around the world. It's really amazing to stop and think that we have 25 of these kindreds, just less than 3 years into our kindred program, which is fantastic. I'm so proud of our kindreds and all the work they do and really practicing Asatru and making it a real thing in their area. It's fantastic. So hopefully that's encouraging. I know I find it very encouraging. Also encouraging, so you guys know, we now have AFA members in South Africa distributing relief effort things to the camps. Our very own members with Volkvakstum kindred, they're distributing stuff. They know people, they have contacts in camps in both Johannesburg and Cape Town, and they're making really sure to get those contributions where they're needed the most and to help people who really need our help. They don't just need our help physically, but spiritually and just emotionally to know that we're over here and we care. People are really excited about that. Talking to the South Africans this last week, they were so excited that people over here in the AFA in the United States know what's going on over there and care about them and care about their people. And that means a lot to those folks. And sometimes that's certainly one thing we can do. You know, everybody wonders what we can do and what we accomplish. We can at least let those people know we're here, we care about them, and we're doing that, and they really do appreciate it. Okay, we got Jason asking about the AFA and its association with the alt-right. Apparently, some people think that we are some sort of political outlet for the alt-right. Let me tell you, that is not the case. The AFA is a church. We have members that I'm sure are involved in the alt-right. We have members that are involved in all kinds of different political parties in different places around the world and all kinds of different things. I certainly hope that everybody's religious beliefs informs decisions they make in all aspects of their life, including in their politics. But the AFA is a church, and our focus is on the spiritual betterment of our people. And we look for all ways to do that and to help our people grow and be successful and be spiritually fulfilled and live. We're going to have people that are hypersensitive to politics. We live in a world that is becoming extremely polarized all around us. That's just the world we live in at the time we live in. Is what it is. But the AFA is not a political organ. We're not part of any political party or any specific political movement. I'm sure that our views coincide with other people's views at different times who do political things. And I would never encourage you guys not to be politically active. Go out there and help make your world a better place in the ways that you think are right by our gods and by your conscience. I hope that clears up the misconception a little bit. Yeah. And no, Rob, New Kindred is not that far from Virginia. You should go up and give those guys some support and maybe go to one of their events. Maybe they can come down to see you guys and go to one of y'all's events. Just got kind of an infusion of folks joining us. Welcome everybody who's just showing up. Hope y'all are doing good tonight. Anybody have anything they want to make sure we talk about or anything they wanted to ask about? I know I'm saying that a lot, but I do want to make sure I get to anybody's questions. I think people always have stuff on their mind or things that they wonder, and sometimes they, don't want to ask or think it'd be impolite to ask or, think it may be a stupid question. And I'm not going to tell you there's no such thing as stupid questions, but even if you got one, I'm happy to try to answer it as long as it's a legitimate question. Hey, Mark, good to see you joining tonight. Update on HOF 2. So it is progressing. One thing right now, we're trying really hard to look for the best possible spot at the best possible deal. And at the level we're at, sometimes that means looking into things more non-traditionally as far as the mortgage situation or properties that are listed and whatnot. So we've been chasing down some things that look really good. We haven't found the perfect thing just yet, but we are looking and we are very prepared to put money down and make that happen as soon as we find the right spot in the right place. It's a big deal to establish that second HOF, and it's a whole lot of your guys' hard-earned money and effort and just energy that you're putting into it. And we want to make really sure that we make the right decision on that spot. But we are looking at it. We're set. We're ready. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of finding the right property in the right spot. And that's a process that we're currently engaged in. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens very soon. We have a real estate broker helping us try to find the right spot. So we're very actively doing that. That's coming. Lane, I have not heard of the effort to start a pagan credit union. Do we know who's heading that up? That's kind of an interesting idea. I wonder who all's involved with that and how many folks they've got, what kind of financial backing and what that deal's about. I'd be interested in hearing who's doing that. Hmm. What else do we have tonight, guys? Anything else y'all are wondering about? Anything else on folks' mind? I know around here, spring has gone into full speed, and it turned from late winter into summer all in a matter of about 2 weeks. So it's been nice to watch everything blossom. And as I look around, AFA stuff, it seems like people got a lot of energy. Everybody is doing stuff. They're excited. Something I did want to mention to you guys that may not know, sometimes folks don't see some of the things that aren't going on in their region. When I'm talking about energy, I was Sheila McNally, Steve, Sheila, and I, and Mandy, we all had dinner last night. And she is really fired up. If you guys don't know, Sheila has volunteered to help us with some folk building efforts. She's our folk builder at large right now, and she's currently helping us do folk building in South Central, which is Texas and Louisiana, and she's also helping with Australia and New Zealand. But Sheila's all fired up and got all kind of energy, so she's helping us a lot of different places with it, and it's cool to see such enthusiasm. And she's absolutely amazing. She's great at building our folk. She's been doing it for 25 years now, so we're very excited to have her helping us out in a folk building capacity. All right. So, and Jason's asking a question here, and I think it's something really important to talk about. Um, I'm not sure how this works and if you guys see this real time, but Jason says over the years he's observed in the Asatru communities, a lot of people seem either hard-headed, prideful, or ashamed to lean on their folk during hard times and will either lash out or vanish altogether. How would I address this and the value in standing in solidarity with folk? This is always a really hard thing that I see, and I do notice it. When we have folk that have hard times, very, very often they keep to themselves and they hole up and they make their world very, very small. And that's the natural thing to do to protect yourself when things are rough and when you get scared or when you're overwhelmed. One thing with the AFA being a church, I know it's counterintuitive, but I want anybody who can hear this to fight that as best you can. When you're feeling the pressure of the world around you, don't close off, don't become small. Open up to the AFA. We are your church, we are your family, and we want to be here for you. When times are hard is when you need your spiritual community the most. It's when you need your folk and your tribe the most. And also, and I guess maybe this is selfish on our part, but we all want to help. We all so much want to be there for our people and help them when they're having hard times. We can't help if we don't know, and people can't help if you don't ask. If you ever feel uncomfortable, coming to a group or anyone that way, please reach out to a Gothi. I promise you that is what we're here for. That's why we started being Gothar. That's exactly why we're here, is to help people if they're having hard times. And it's some of the most meaningful thing in my life if I can help somebody who's down, if I can help one of our folk that needs someone to talk to that can maybe say the right thing to them at the right time or be there for them when they're having a hard time. There's nothing more in this world that I would rather be doing than doing that. And I think the same can be said for all of our Gothar. So please, if you do have hard times or if you know somebody that does, send them to a Gothi. Keep them involved in the AFA. Have them come out to an AFA event. The whole world always looks better, no matter whether it's hard times or good, when you're standing with your folk at an AFA event. I know that's the case in my life. I've been to AFA events when I was down and having a hard time, and it lifted me right up. And I've been to AFA events when I was on the top of the world, and it just accelerated it and made it better. Get out there and be with your folk, especially when times are tough. I can't say it enough, and I can't say it passionately enough. You need your folk. and let your folk be there for you. Hey, Mark, thanks. Mark Purrier just announced that he sent an edition of the Asatru Edda for us to auction at Midsummer. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for the donation, Mark. We really appreciate it. Hail the givers indeed. Got a couple more people joining us. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Hope everybody's enjoying summer wherever they're at. It sounds like some of our folk in the Dakotas aren't really feeling summer just yet, but it's on its way. So speaking of the auction at Midsummer, I'll plug it again for those of you who weren't here at the top of the show. If you guys can make it, if there's any possible way you can make it, Midsummer at Odenshoff, June 21st through the 23rd. It's the AFA's premier event every year. It's kind of the official start of the AFA year. We kind of go midsummer to midsummer with some of the things that we do. And I can't say enough, if you haven't been to the Hoff, there's something extremely holy about being in our sacred space. I've said this before, but we always, when you start doing AF or when you start doing Asatru rituals in general, one of the big things you do is you got to create sacred space. And so often we have a ritual to do that when we're in a public space like a park or, somebody's backyard. And it's so special to have space that is sacred, that stays sacred, and that builds and becomes more sacred through years of use and dedication. If you guys haven't been there, we'd love to have you out there. Again, carpool, get together with your friends, make it work. We'd love to see you out there. Midsummer at Odenshoff. Please, if any way possible, we'd love to see you there. Make it happen if you can. I can't say it enough. That was my first event. My first AFA event was a Midsummer back when we were doing it at Camp Norga. And something so different when you only practice Asatru in your own local area or maybe with a couple of, close friends. When you go to a national event and you're there with 100 other Asatru are praising our gods and celebrating our folk, you build connections that last a lifetime. I know I got hooked, and if I wouldn't have gone to that first Midsummer, I wouldn't be where I am today. It changed my life, and I hope it can change yours. Love to see you guys there. Yeah, Katrina, I think everybody thinks it'd be really nice to have a Hoff right next to them. And you know what? That is the mission. That absolutely is the mission. As soon as we get Hoff 2 and that gets up and running and paid for, Hoff 3 is on the way. As soon as we got Hoff 3, there's Hoff 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 until there's a Hoff near all of our folk. If we can get communities of people that are dedicated to taking care of the Hoffs, to building a faith community around those Hoffs, we will keep making them happen. I'm very devoted to doing that. And it blows my mind that we paid off Odenshoff, in such a short amount of time, 3.5, under 4 years. And within 3 or 4 months, we're already looking for that second Hoff location, already ready to put down on it. So they'll happen. We'll get a Hoff close to you sooner than you think. Well, Lee, we're really glad to see you at Ostara. I'm glad that you and your family had a good time there. Hopefully, you can make it up to Winter Nights in the Poconos. We'd love to see you up there. That camp's awesome. That's a beautiful place that time of the year. So yeah, any of you guys on the East Coast or wherever you're at, if you can make it to Winter Nights in the Poconos, it's a fantastic event. I love it. Look forward to it every year. It's the event that I met my wife at. It's kind of a special one to us. So. Does anybody else have any questions or anything they want to, I don't know, have me comment on or anything they're wondering about? I'm very happy to answer anything anybody's got. Joe, I hope you do. We would love to see you there. Come to events, bring your family. Would love to have them there. Just looking over here at the comments, trying to see if I missed anything or if anybody does have anything they want to touch base on tonight. One thing I wanted to talk about a little bit while I got you guys here is the juxtaposition between Hexanacht and Mayday. And I don't know if I made it clear in the little post that I made. I assure you the Mayday post, if you saw it on Facebook, it had a picture on the thing we showed on the website. There was some technical malfunction to where it didn't show up with a picture, but I did pick out a beautiful picture and you can see it at runestone.org. Anyways, one of the sacred things that the Asatru Folk Assembly believes women do and women contribute is they are conduits for power. They bestow power. They create sacrality with things. It's one of the reasons that we have, or it's the reason that we have the women take the horn for ritual, and they take it off by themselves and they imbue it with potent spiritual energy and potent magical power. They imbue that and they prepare it and they make it ready. And then the Gothi goes out there and then puts it into action. One of the cool things about Hexanacht is the sacred, the divine feminine prepares the world and fills it with magic, fills it with potential, and fills it with that energy to be shaped and all of that potential, and makes the air thick with potential on that night. And the magic of Mayday is the masculine then can take all of that potential and shape it and direct it with will and put it towards things. I think it's important to note that in our creation story, Odin, Vili, and Ve, the father of inspiration, with sacrality, Ve, and with will, Vili, through will and sacrality, the father of inspiration created mankind, created our folk. With those things, he created our universe. And that's kind of one of the mysteries of Mayday that I think is important, is taking all of that magic and all of that power and harnessing it and directing it towards a purpose. And I want us to think about this time of year. With all the life that's budding around us, all the magic of springtime and early summer, what can we do with that energy? What can we do with that vibrance and that vitality? What can we shape? How can we make our world better? How can we make our family better? How can we make the AFA better? What can we build? What can we accomplish? And if we put our shoulder to that, the sky's the limit. There's nothing we can't do. So I'm excited to see where that brings us this year. Yeah, Trent, sorry we missed you at O-Star this year. Hopefully we'll see you next time, and hopefully you can make it up to Winter Nights. We'd love to see you guys there. What to expect during Midsummer. You can certainly expect the folk. You can expect probably, last year we had about 130 people there. So it's a lot of folks. It's people from all over. It's a beautiful spot. It's kind of off in the hills, so don't expect to have good cell service there. But do expect to be surrounded by beauty and the folk. Expect to have some good talks, some powerful rituals, some time to build relationships with people that maybe you've only talked to online, and to renew relationships with people that you've actually met before. If you're planning on staying at the Hof, expect to bring some bedding. That would be a good idea for you to bring. Expect a really powerful weekend with some great people. It never ceases to amaze me how special those events are, and it keeps getting better every year. Something else to expect is heat. It is California in the literal middle of summer, so it's going to be very warm. Please make sure that you bring stuff appropriately and that you're prepared for it, because it does get kind of toasty. Also, there's a really cool swimming spot just up the road that folks like to go to, so bring some swim gear if that's something you're interested in. Scott, I'm sure Cliff would be very glad to hear that you like the website. I absolutely love it. Cliff put tons of effort into making that nice for us. I think it's a beautiful website, and I'm glad that people are going to it. I kind of geek out on looking at the analytics on how many people go to it and from what countries and what they're looking at. If anybody has any ideas of things they'd like to see on the website or see us do with it, please let me know, and we'll see what we can do. Um, we're looking, we're always looking for ways to make that better. We like being able to direct folks there because it's ours. We have control of it. We have control of what we put there. There's no worry about censorship. It's our spot. So yeah, Scott, thank you, and I'm glad that you like the site. As far as what's the next celebration within the AFA, well, we've got our days of remembrance, and the next one coming up is on the 9th. We have the Day of Remembrance for Elsie Christensen. This is going to be the second year that the AFA celebrates that. If you don't know about Elsie, look her up. She is one of the seminal figures in modern day Asatru and in the growth and development of our people back when this was just starting out. And she put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in getting people together and writing letters to folks and knitting together a community. That's why she came by the title of the Folk Mother, because she did so much to build our folk initially. So I encourage you to look her up and raise a horn to her on the 9th. Lane wants me to talk a little bit about the growth of having women and families around. It's one of the best things we've seen in the AFA recently has been just the massive surge of women, of families, children. A lot of us, when we started out, I've been involved in Asatru since 2001, and certainly at that time, it was a lot of guys. It was a whole lot of single guys, or it was guys that wouldn't bring their family out. They'd get together and didn't really trust it, and they could get together with the guys and have a backyard barbecue and throw back a few beers, and they didn't bring family around. And it's been amazing to watch the growth of people who are comfortable bringing their families around. We've got kids everywhere at these events, kids getting together and playing with each other and making friends out of nowhere. Never met each other before, and by the end of the weekend, they're best of friends. And it's beautiful to see that. Cliff was asking me a while ago, Matt, when was the last time you saw a group picture without a pregnant woman or a baby in arms? And I can't think of one. It's been that long. We've always got babies. Mandy and Janet, when they were going over baby blankets for our baby blanket project that our ladies are involved in. 17 so far this year that we know about. 17 new AFA babies. So women and children are at all of our events. At least half, if not more, of the participants of the events are women and children. It's been amazing because that's absolutely our future, and it's beautiful to watch that. And those kids are going to grow up with this being what they were raised in, unlike those of us who found this later in life. And that's a really special thing to be a part of, and a special time to be Asatru. Need for physical fitness among our folk. Physical health equally important versus spiritual strength. Yeah, I think that one of the things that characterizes Asatru is it's holistic. It's not just about, being a cleric in a tower somewhere reading ancient tomes. Asatru informs action. It informs your life and how you live and how you do things. Being physically fit is a big part of that. To be truly healthy, to be whole, to be hale, is to be healthy in all aspects of your life, mentally, spiritually, physically. And it's really important. It's been very important to me to try to help our people get in better shape. I think no small part of that is we want people to look good. You feel good when you look good. When you have good health and when you present yourself well, you're able to hold your head up and stick your chest out and be proud of who you are. And people react to that when they see you. I want our folk to recognize our excellence at a distance. I'd like everything we do to shine with excellence, and our physical health is a huge part of that. And it's a big problem in the United States, and I think around the world, where we have our folk, is we've succeeded so well that we have abundance, and abundance has created an epidemic of obesity and diseases and things that come along with it. So I'd love to see all our people look their best, feel their best, and be able to live and have longevity for a long time. I think one of the really inspirational things is to watch Steve McNallen. he's over 70 now, and he's always out trying to go to the gym or go hiking or go do something. When I think about my grandparents at his age, they were old. My grandparents hit about 55 and they stopped being able to do things. It's great to live in a time where we know better than that and folks can get out there and stay active. It's one of those things, and I encourage all of our folk to stay active. And something Mandy and I always talk about is wanting to make sure that we do stay active as we do get older. So physical fitness is hugely important, and I think it speaks volumes about the commitment of folk and of people when they hold themselves to that standard and try to pursue physical excellence. Thanks, Rob. I'm glad you like the Odin bloat. I always love doing that. I really feel very connected when I do that, and I'm really glad you appreciate it and you like that. Mandy, it's absolutely that hot. You being from Florida, your opinion of the heat doesn't count. Stephen, that's a good idea. Ask Cliff about that. We'll check in and see what the guys running Votan's Wolves want to do, and see if we've got content to make that section on runestone.org. It's really nice to see what the Distals have built with that. I love what they're doing. So yeah, we'll check into that. Thanks for the idea. Yeah, Joe, sugar's a killer. I got a sweet tooth. I know the struggle, but that's one quick thing to help with people with their physical fitness issues. If you consume a lot of sugar, cutting out the sugar will get you a long ways towards where you want to go. Well, Katrina, if you want a hiking retreat in Minnesota with the folk to make that happen, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get that going. Hiking is fantastic. Minnesota's kind of flat for the hiking I'm used to. I like going up hills, but yeah, if you want to see people hike there, get them together and get them to go hiking. I'm sure we got plenty of people in Minnesota that'd love to go hiking with you. I know it's always cool if we can get people out here to go hike. The Sierras being so close is really nice because we get some really beautiful hikes up there. But yeah, if you've got an idea and you want to see a hiking retreat in Minnesota, get together with Jason, your folk builder there, and get that set up. He'd love to make it happen, and I'd love to see it. Hey, Karen, good to see you on the chat tonight. Got anything else folks are thinking about or want to make sure we talk about tonight? Just looking over chat, trying to see if there's anything I missed that folks may want to be talking about or hearing about or sharing with us. Plans on educating young children of our faith. So first and foremost, and it may be a small effort right now, but it's a labor of love, and it's something that Carrie Overton puts a lot of time and effort into. Scott, if you get the Rune Pebble, I hope everyone on this that has children or is just interested in it checks out the Rune Pebble. We have some old issues of the Rune Pebble on runestone.org, but it's a publication just for AFA kids and with little educational things and coloring things and ideas for stuff for kids to do and families. I really want to see that develop as our young families do grow and as we get more people, especially closer together, involved in helping each other raise their families. Scott, if that's something that you have ideas about or specific things you'd like to see or ideas, Heather Klinkenbeard, a folk builder of ours down in Southern California, would love to help get you in touch with Carrie or with her and move some of that forward, because we'd always love to see things like that. So you can reach Heather at hklinkenbeard@runestone.org, and I'm sure she'd love to help you with that. And if you don't get a copy of the Rune Pebble, also Heather can get you on that list. Clifford Erickson can get you on that list, and I invite you to go to runestone.org and check out the previous issues. I can't say it enough. Carrie Overton puts in the lion's share of work on those, and she has done an absolutely beautiful job with them. So Jason wants to know how I would measure right and true actions going into our personal wells versus raising a horn every day, hailing one of our gods in regards to spiritual growth. Um, why don't you do both? I think it's really important that we characterize what we do by right action and consistent right action. I think laying down a history or a track record of right actions and noble behavior in how we deal with people and how we conduct ourselves and how we hold ourselves is huge on our spiritual development. And if we all do it, it's huge for the development of our folk. But I think maintaining the connection with the divine and maintaining a relationship with our gods and our ancestors is also extremely important. And here's the thing, we can do both. We don't need to put ourselves in these tiny little pigeonholed spots. We don't need to either be strong or be smart or be people who think or people who do. We need to think, we need to do. We need to be strong, we need to be smart. We need to do action, and we need to have contemplation. We need all of those things. So I think both are essential, and I think that a lack of any is regrettable. So do the best with what you can and try to be well rounded. There's nothing holding us back from not only doing all of the things, but excelling at all of them. I like looking at the little what you call those, if they're emojis or not, that you see popping up, little smiley faces. Every now and again, I'm seeing a little angry face pop up. I don't know who's angry or what's got them vexed, but yeah, I really like this format. I like getting to talk to you guys like this. I hope you guys enjoy it. This is something I look forward to every month. It's really nice to be able to just interact with all the folk from everywhere. I know there's not really a time that I can pick that all of our international members and everybody can get on at the same time perfectly. But I appreciate you guys coming out. I appreciate you guys being here and asking questions. Is there anything folks have that I haven't talked on or that you want to make sure we get to tonight, or anything at all you want to ask me? Because now's the chance. Now is the perfect time. If anybody has anything they want to know or talk about, I am here and more than happy to. Just had some folks joining us. Hi, Letitia. Hi, Andy. Good to see you guys here. Well, I do want to, while I got you guys, let you know about a couple of things on the site and things we're currently trying to do that you guys can help with if you feel so inclined, or if you got rich friends they can help with too. One thing that we do need right now, we're running a little bit low on our folk services account. And this goes with what Jason said earlier about people in hard times. If any of you guys fall on hard times, or you know any other members that do, I would suggest that you guys look into our folk services and talk to your folk builder about it. It's a program that we started a number of years back and something I'm very proud of. We get a fund together from donations to help people that have hard times happen to them. You know, somebody loses a job, or a natural disaster happens, or there's an illness in the family, or somebody just falls down on their face and needs help getting back up. One of the really special things that we're able to do with the number of members we have and the generosity of the members that we have is we're able to help some folks. And we can't fix everything. We can't, buy you a new house or, buy you a yacht or anything. But if folks are having a hard time, we can help them with a meal. We can help them with a place to stay for the night. We can help them with some things to help get them back to where they're okay. And that's really important. I'm very proud of that program. And if anybody has the resources or wants to donate to that, on the donate page at runestone.org. You can do that. We'd really appreciate it. Like I said, our folk services money is lower than I'd like to see it. So if folks can help out with that, that would be fantastic. As always, we're still taking money for our South Africa relief efforts. As I was saying earlier in the call, now we have our own AFA members and AFA Kindred in South Africa that's distributing that relief personally, so we don't need to rely on an outside organization to do it. We have AFA members doing AFA things over there, helping to take care of it. So that's a really nice thing we're able to do. Anybody who wants to donate towards that, again, runestone.org. We take donations on that all the time. And talking with our South African members, an American dollar goes a long way over there. It goes much further than you'd think it does. So even a little bit does a lot to help the people over there. And, they're having a hell of a time with it. So thank you for that. And as always, anybody who wants to help out with HOF 2, always need funds to make that happen. Again, donate. But we're ready right now to put down and make it happen. Like I say, we're looking for the right property in the right spot, but we're narrowing it down. We are looking, and that's going to happen very, very soon. I promise you that. Looking at the chat here for a second. Yes, Jason makes a point about letting the divine into your life. It's extremely important to approach the gods and our folk with an open heart. Let them in, let us in, let them affect you, let them build something special in your life and in your heart. It sounds real touchy-feely, but I can tell you personally, it makes all the difference. Jason comments, it looks like we're going to have an amazing year ahead of us. So far, it's been fantastic, and I'm imagining wonderful things for us. So yeah, we got good things ahead. I think somebody's asking a question that we're not seeing. That's good. I think Mandy's got my back on some of these questions, so that's great. Like I said, if you guys are on here and you're answering anything or you're asking anything that I'm not getting to, I'm not seeing it on my end, and I will go back over these comments after the call or after the chat, and I will answer them, and I'll do what I can to get everything answered. Because I do appreciate you guys coming and asking questions, and you guys deserve answers. Yep, Corey, we certainly do need to get more growth going in Massachusetts. We got a lot more in Massachusetts this year than we have ever before, though, I'll tell you that. And it looks like that's doing well. But yeah, get out there, Corey. If you got folks that you know, get them involved. Let's build something there. One of the things about Asatru and about the AFA is it doesn't just magically happen. It takes folks to go out and do it. So Corey, I'm sure that Cliff, your folk builder, would be really happy for any help you want to give in making your area grow and thrive. Book of Blotar 2. We are absolutely working on a new Book of Blotar. That's something that Blaine and I have been trying to do for a while now. We've got that in the works. I can't give you any definite timeline on when it'll be out, but we are hard at work on that, and we do know there needs to be an updated one. So we are trying to make that happen, and hopefully that'll happen sooner rather than later. All right, guys. It's been almost an hour with you guys. Does anybody have any last minute things they want to make sure we talk about or make sure that I respond to? Like I said, I love talking to you guys. I look forward to it. But don't want you just sitting here staring at me. So if you guys have any questions, I'd be really happy to answer them. Very excited for what we've got ahead. I'm super excited about Midsummer next month, and I'm very excited about seeing our Swedish family at Ultima Thule this month. That's going to be fantastic. Like I mentioned earlier, this is the second international AFA event that we've had. The first one was a number of years back in Denmark, and this one Anders is hosting in Sweden. He has put in a lot of work the last few years to build something over there and to make something really special. We have 3 AFA kindreds in Sweden, and they're over there doing great for us. And I'm so excited to go get to meet them all in person, to celebrate, to raise a horn to our gods and our ancestors, and to spend time with my AFA family in Sweden. So hopefully our other European members will come out to it. And if any of you guys are able to and you want to surprise us and show up over there, we'd love to see you guys there too. Well, if anybody else has any last minute questions going once, questions going twice. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I enjoy doing it. It's been a pleasure talking with you guys, and I look forward to talking to you guys next month. If I can see you in Sweden, great. If not, please do what you can to make it out to Midsummer. We would love to see you there. Love to see you out at Odenshof. For that matter, if you ever do make it out, near Odenshof and you want to check it out, let one of us know and we can get somebody up there to show you and to take you up there. There's events up there once a month. So if you do make it out anywhere close and you want to take a trip by it, please let somebody know and we'd love to show it off to you guys. All right. Thank you all very much. You guys have a great night. Hail the gods, hail the folk, hail the AFA.